Hi guys, I had a suggestion that I should make one of my little gliders rubber band powered, which I think is a good idea, but when I went up to my workroom I spotted I've got 3 of these from Poundland still in their packs. These are probably 2 or 3 years old. I did see they were selling them last year, but I haven't seen them yet this year. So I don't know if they're going to be available this year. They're just chuck gliders. You throw them. But I did wonder whether I could stick one of my existing rubber band sticks underneath it and see if that would power it across the garden. I don't think we're going to get any great height from it. They don't fly particularly well as ordinary chuck gliders, although they are quite fun. There's lots of people who've done modifications to try and get them to fly reasonably. Floridax over in Florida, he does extensive modifications to them. You really wouldn't recognise the original from what he's done to them. But I think he just finds they're a handy source of foam. Quite often the wings are quite bowed when you get them out the package, rather like that. They're pretty chunky. You could spend time filing them down or sanding them down to make them nice airfoil shapes. Or you can just stick them together and throw them and see what happens. Sounds like it's raining outside, but I think I'll just stick this one together and go and throw it in the garden, so we've got some idea of what it goes like. And then I'll probably hot glue that straight underneath and see if it actually makes any difference. So I'll just go and throw that first so we've got a reference point, and if it doesn't break when I throw it, we'll glue that on. Right, it is raining but only very light. So again. Well, we could spend quite a while trying to get it to fly well. I think all we need to know is at the moment it's probably a bit tail heavy, or we could trim the fins down, try and reduce that nose up attitude. Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? To be honest, when I first bought them and tried them, I was impressed, because compared to the usual rubbish that you buy in Poundland, as far as gliders go, they're usually those thin flat pack ones that last fine until you actually throw them, and then they fold up straight away. This is certainly more robust. Anyway, let's glue the propeller on and see what happens. There we are, just hot glued straight on the bottom. I've just realised I've got all excited and wound the rubber up without actually giving it a test flight unpowered, just to check the way that I've changed the balance. So, well, we'll go for it anyway, and then we'll check what's happened to the centre of gravity afterwards, I suppose. Just check we are filming. Yes, we are filming. Well, we've certainly moved the centre of gravity forwards. We'll give it some power and just see if it might climb. But I may have pushed that a bit further forwards than I needed to. I was worried about having too much weight with the stick at the back. But I think we've got plenty of stick at the front to counterbalance it. I might cut it off and move it back in a minute. Yeah, I think that would be the logical thing to do. Cut that off again and shift it back. We've got the centre of gravity right on the front of the wing. Do we going back a bit? Here we go again. So I've moved the propeller shaft, or whatever you want to call this bit, further back, the stick. I've also cut about 3/4 of an inch off the front so we can move it all backwards a bit. So, centre of gravity is still quite a long way further forwards than I'd like it, but we'll give it a try. Well, I think it was a powered dive, but it did seem to sort of fly a little bit compared to the previous one. I really don't want to start adding weight at the back to balance it. So the next option is start cutting bits of foam off the front. That was definitely powered flight. That stayed level that time. trim the nose a bit more to try and take a bit more weight off the front. Give it a bit of right because it's turning to the left. Well, I think that's as far as we can go in the garden, and as I keep saying, it is raining out there, so we're not going to go out and try it anywhere else at the moment. Just want to measure the centre of gravity there. Still quite a way forwards. I could probably trim a little bit more off the nose. But I think that'll do for today.